Hey! Looky there! Look at it flickering. It's flickering because my fuel pump's trying to run. Hang on just a second. Let me go ahead and start. Well, this will probably be impossible for you guys to see, but what I'm trying to work on is rewiring the lights on the tractor properly, more properly. The factory lights that were on here, of course, are busted off, long gone. I don't even know for sure where the original wires might be that ran to those lights. So what I'm just trying to figure up is if I run all new wires of my own, where to hook them in appropriately. So right here is the back of the fuse panel. So that's where my wires are coming out, and I've checked all the fuses on the actual fuses that say they're for the lights for high beam and low beam. I've checked those. Those say that they're good. Now where the wires go from there on out the back and trace around, I can probably kind of chase them. But what I'm going to do instead is just work right here off the back of the light switch itself, and I'm going to try to find my incoming power and my outgoing power. Now this switch does several things. It has high beam, low beam, it has directional, and it has my horn. So it's got off, high beam, low beam. I don't know which one's which there, but I guess you would just say if it's off, low beam, high beam? I don't know. Kind of hard to tell if it's upside down or whatever, but yeah, I guess you could say that's low beam pointing down at the ground. This is high beam pointing straight out. Anyway, I don't know if I want to bother with wiring in one versus the other as far as low beam or high beam. I might just tap off of the high beam itself, or I'm trying to decide if I want to tap off and do the, low beams on the fronts and high beam on the back, or something goofy like that to where I can have front lights or back lights in both. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. For right now, all I've got to identify is which one is which. So which ones are the incoming hot wires, which one are the outgoing, and all I've got for that is just a basic test light. So I'm just going to be going through doing a couple iterations, excuse me, wiping the sweat off, doing a couple iterations, just checking poles, checking wires wherever I can, trying to figure out where I've got current and where I don't, depending on the position of the switch. I'm assuming that the switch is good. That might be a bold assumption, but I'm assuming that the switch is good and that the original factory wires to the lights are just bad. So that's what I'm going to be working on anyway. Just wanted to give you a little intro here. I'm going to start testing wires, which is a two-hand sort of job. So you guys don't get to see, but I will let you know what I find. Okay, so pretty good progress so far, and something I'll mention here just so you guys aren't, total dummies like me. The first time I took a probe, I jammed it into this insulation here so that I could get through that wire just to confirm. That's the red wire, so that's the incoming hot. Once you turn the key on, that wire brings power to the switch. But there's no reason to jam it through the insulation. You can just go right into the back of your plug here and make contact with the metal probes right there. So me being a dummy, did one poke and then I figured it out. So you should always be able to go into the back of the plug like that and not to be poking holes in the insulation. So here's what I figured out. Red is the incoming hot, which makes sense. Yellow on red and green on red are both hot when the low beams are on. White on red and green on red are both hot when the high beams are on. I'm wondering if maybe green on red is like park markers or like my work light, so it's on both times. And then the yellow on red and the white on red are the ones that are unique to the lights themselves, to the headlights themselves. So like I said, I have some options here. I can tie into, if I want to get fancy with it, I can tie into, say, yellow on red as just my front headlights, and then I can tie into just the white on red to do just my rear headlights, or rear lights. That way, if I wanted to, if I'm just driving down the road and I don't want the back lit up bright, I still have my little work light on, but I could turn it on low beams and then only my front would be lit up. And then if I am working off the back, I can turn on high beams, which of course the fronts would still be on, but my back would light up too. So I'm trying to decide if I want to go fancy with it like that. Interestingly enough, yeah, that would put it on separate fuses, but now I'm trying to figure out if, so going from the switch, there's a fuse for high beam and low beam, so going from the switch, the wires must run back through the fuse panel. So what I really need to figure out is coming out of the back of the fuse panel, which one to tie into, I guess. That way the lighting that I hook up is downstream of the fuse. Let me tinker on that for a little while and figure out exactly how I want to do this. Hey! Looky there! Look at it flickering. It's flickering because my fuel pump's trying to run. Hang on just a second. Let me go ahead and start the tractor. This may or may not cause problems. Uh-oh. No, hold on. My anti-theft safety switch was engaged from the PTO. It sticks every time I run the 540 and then I forget. So yeah, hey, check it out. We got a Cyclops out here. We got our one light going, which the video makes it look terribly bright. Standing here looking around myself, I don't feel like it's all that bright. I guess I'll go close the hood and sit in the seat and see what I feel like I can actually see with it. But for what I did right now, it's a mess. I just daisy chained a bunch of clips together to make it work, basically. So I've got a little quick connect there, a little plug there, a little plug there. I got them all just spliced together. But what I really wanted to do was just test out that the factory wires are still good, and they appear to be. So I'm going to see about getting some different quick clips and some ways to clean this up, because yeah, like I said, right now it's really ghetto. But in the world, yeah, whatever. You guys can't see anything anyway. So yeah, it's really ghetto right now with all the quick connects. I'm going to try to clean it up, but I'm excited that I'm working on doing it correctly, using the original factory wires, running through the fuse box, doing all that good stuff that's supposed to happen, versus just flipping on. This is driving me nuts. You guys can't see anything, it won't focus. Whatever. Trying to do it right, and so far it's going well. That's it.